Morning, guys. Another hot, steamy day in July. Huh? Well, I just want to let you know. About a few days ago, I had a engine failure. Inland light came on, and it was sluggish. It was kind of hesitant, like it wanted to stall. And I thought, yeah, because I have been having problems with the downstream O2 sensor. And I thought I was going to do it myself. I actually even purchased the O2 sensor, but I don't have the tools. I don't have the technology to raise my vehicle. Like, you go to a garage, they got the lifts, man. They lift it right up. They can get underneath. They get out that long 22 millimeter wrench and wrench it right off. Or, they've got the heat, the propane torch to heat it up. They've got the breaker bars. They've got all the tools. They've got the knowledge. They got the know-how. Most of them have done it hundreds of times. They know what the little tricks are. I mean, I tried spraying it with kind of like you spray it on it, and it supposedly cleans it, gets rid of the rust, and gets into the threads. So I don't know if it worked or not. I'm not even going to attempt it because, like I said, I don't have the technology to do that. So anyway, I went to O'Reilly's to make double sure that this is what it was, and sure enough, I got a scan. Here, I don't know if I can show you this one. Hang on one second. So I went to O'Reilly's. I got a scan. There it is, Kia Optima. That's my Kia Optima. O'Reilly's. Replace, most likely solution, replace oxygen sensor O2, which is on the downstream of my catalytic converter. That's where it's located at. And there was some other things, but I can't afford those. The only thing I can afford right now is to replace oxygen sensor on my downstream, catalytic converter. So I decided I was going to call Fix It Fred, which is on Raft Road, not far from my house, and because it's close, and I have hip problems, and I can barely walk. They said on their site that we give you a loaner car, or we'll give you a ride, and I'm thinking, well, that'd be cool, So I called them. Actually, I didn't call them. I booked it online for this Thursday, actually at 7 a.m. in the morning, and this was a couple days ago, Monday, that I did this, and then I called them up. The next day, because it says on it you need to call them to set this ride up. So I called him, left a message, says, I need a ride. Never heard from him. So I waited So I waited like 3 hours. I thought, well, I'm going to have to call him. So I called. I got a mechanic on there. We started talking, and he said, well, we can give you a ride home. And he said, we want you to drop the car off Thursday morning at 7 a.m. He said, and then it's going to sit there until Monday, sometime Monday. And I said, what? I said, it doesn't take that long to get an O2 sensor. In fact, I have one that I have purchased. You can use mine. And he said, no, we don't use parts that people buy and bring in. And I'm thinking, why not? It's my car. I already paid for it. It's brand new. And he refused. Got mouthy about it. We don't do that. We do our, you don't do that because you want to mark it up. You're going to buy it and then add whatever percentage you feel like, because you got me over a barrel. So I asked him, I said, why from 7 in the morning Thursday could you not get it apart? You've got O'Reilly's, you've got AutoZone, Advanced Auto, and they deliver, because I've done it before. I bought a battery from them. They deliver it within the hour. So he couldn't come up with anything reasonable why it would take from Thursday 7 a.m. in the morning, as in the whole day. It should be done Thursday. My car should be back. He should be calling me saying, it's done. We fixed it Thursday. No. He said he needs to keep it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I said, well, then why don't I just bring it in? You order the part, and then I'll come in Monday. Oh, no, we can't do that. We have to keep track of your mileage. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? If I don't come in till Monday, who cares? Then you can go ahead and go check out the mileage then. This guy was really arrogant. I mean, when I was talking to him, it was hard for me not to just say, forget it. And so, in fact, that is exactly what I did do down the road. So I said, oh, okay, all right, we'll do it. I'll be in. And then I said, have a good day. And he said, totaled. And I said, what? But it's too late. He already hung up. So I got to thinking all day long. I jumped on Google and tried to figure out, was that a slang term for something? But as far as I know, total means he's going to mess with my vehicle or something. I don't know what he meant by that, but that was weird. So I got some really bad vibes from that. And not only that, the 5 days. So what if I need to buy groceries? I got to go to the hospital. My family calls me and they need me to come over, or any number of things for five days. That's a long time. And I'm sure Monday would have been all day long. Maybe I couldn't even pick it up till Tuesday, because once they have your vehicle, that's it. You're under their thumb then. They can keep it as long as they want, more or less. Keep leading you on. Well, we got to fix this. We haven't got the part in yet or whatever. So anyway, I canceled. But when I canceled, I wrote a review. And I told him exactly what I'm saying right now. It's ridiculous that you would keep my vehicle or anybody else's for 5 long days when it should be done in 1 day. 1 day. I made the appointment for July 9th at 7 a.m. You've got from 7 a.m. till they close, which I think is around 6, 7 at night. So what the heck is wrong with this? Guess what? They called me later on about this review, and they wanted to know why I said that. And I said, no. I said, I don't even know why you're calling me. You're bothering me. And then they kept bothering me, pestering me, emailing me, texting me. So finally I said, you know what, I'm going to let them know, because I'm kind of mad anyway about it. So I got online, talked to the guy named Ash. I guess he's the supervisor there at the Fix It Fred. Forever, Fred. Take your time, Fred. So he said, so what seems to be the problem with... I said, what do you mean what seems to be the problem? 5 days. Right there's the problem. Bring it in 7 a.m. Friday, and I don't get it till Monday, whenever you decide. Maybe not till Tuesday. So what am I supposed to do? Sit around my house? What if I need food? I need to go grocery shopping. What if I have to go to the hospital? What if my family calls me? They need me to help them. Or I just want to get out and go for a ride. Something. But my car needs to be sitting in my garage. And, not for 5 days in your garage. And I even said, well, 5 days is a long time for it to be sitting out in the parking lot. He said, oh, well, we're going to bring it into the garage. I said, well, but you still have it for 5 long days. So then I told him about the guy who I had talked to. I should have brought up about my O2 sensor, downstream sensor that I had bought. Very good one, brand new, that he refused to accept. He got mouthy with me about that. We don't do that. We don't do stuff like that. We use our own. Yeah, so you can mark it up. You're going to buy it from O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced Auto, and then you're going to mark it up and make it, not only me, but you. You too. That's how they operate. And then he kind of got on this thing about, well, how do you know it's an O2 sensor? I said, because I went to O'Reilly's and had a scan. And it says right at the top, the biggest, boom, in big lettering, O2 downstream sensor needs to be replaced. I told him that. Well, you know what he wanted to do? A scan. He wanted to charge me $150-some scan. And I had already had it scanned. So that's one thing. Watch out, guys. Watch out. And then I found out something really weird. You wait for this. So I told him, I said, yeah, the guy said, When we hung up, totaled. That was the word he used, totaled. I said, what was he going to do? Like, mess with my car or something like that? He says, oh, we talked. He says, oh, we took care of that guy. I said, oh, okay. All right, so, all right, bye. So later on, I checked my email, and sure enough, I got an email from the owner. And you know what they do? They record everything you say. When you call up to make an appointment by phone, they record you. And he recorded me when I was talking to this Ash guy, and he said, he said, we recorded you when you first made your appointment, and we recorded you when you were talking to that guy named Ash. And he even said, which I know what this guy said. He said totaled. He said that guy, when he hung up, said, you're welcome. No, he didn't. It's a far shot from you're welcome to totaled. They don't even sound close. Who knows what he gimmicked up or whatever, but he is the owner, and he doesn't want to lose business. So I couldn't believe it. They actually record everything. They recorded me on both conversations without my permission. And I don't know about you, but this Ash guy, I don't know if he knows. I don't think he did. But if he didn't, and the owner is the one that does this, in Ohio, you have a law, third-party law. If the two people talking don't know, but the one that's recording does, that's a felony in Ohio. You cannot tape people, record people's conversations, and that's what they're doing. I'm letting you guys know. They record you. Both of my conversations, so that means they record everybody. So that is wrong. What are you, the Gestapo? And then that one guy, when I was talking to him, not the first guy, not the second guy, he made a big deal about it when I actually said, well, if you're not going to do anything Thursday, why don't I just bring it in Monday? Well, we can't have that because we have to keep track of the mileage. I don't know if I said this already, but I'll say it again. So what are you, the mileage cops? I said, if I don't bring it in Thursday, you don't know anything about my car or how much mileage is on it, so I bring it in Monday. Then you could check it out, put the mileage on it, that's fine. Oh, he got huffy about that too. Oh, well, we keep track of all the miles. Oh, what are you, like the mile cops? This isn't Russia. This is China, North Korea. We're not worried about how much mileage that I have. You can do that when I bring it in. So, no, so I'm still canceled for them. I'm going somewhere else. And no, it's not going to take 5 days there. It's only going to take one. So anyway, you guys have a great day. And just remember that they are recording. Every time you call them at Fix It Fred, Fix It Forever Fred, they record your conversation. So now you know. You don't have to, you know now. So it's wrong. That is wrong. Why do they need to record people's conversation? I don't get it. And why would they keep my vehicle for 5 long days? Think about it. 5 days. That's a long time. And they're not even touching it. They're not even doing nothing. It's been in there since 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Until closing, it should be done on Thursday. That's the appointment. Thursday. Not Monday, not Friday, not Saturday, not Sunday. So, yeah, I canceled. That's all I can say. I don't trust you. You do what you got to do. But I will never go there. I don't trust them. And again, they think there's no problem with keeping somebody's vehicle for 5 days. Who are these people? Who are these people? It's weird. That's strange. Fix it. The day I made the appointment Thursday is 7 a.m. and way in the morning. You got all day long, all morning, all afternoon, and they're not even going to touch it till Monday. I don't get it. No, it's wrong. That's why I canceled. All right, you guys have a great day. Happy 4th. Happy America's birthday. 250. Yeah. All right, bye.